So Tampa Bay did it
Yes.
in one of the more improbable stories that we'll ever hear in our lifetime. Tampa Bay goes from having a team with a quarterback that went 30 for 30 and not the TV series, but rather throwing touchdowns and interceptions to getting the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yep.
The greatest football player of all time.
Yep.
Getting him to not only be the quarterback of your team, take you to the playoffs, win games against Taylor Heineke, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and then Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
But also win the whole damn thing.
Yep.
Tom Brady just took one of the sorriest franchises in NFL history to a Super Bowl.
At home.
At home. First to
At
do
home.
I saw, I think it was a tweet the other day that was just like Tom Brady heard he's not the GOAT talks and then went out and beat Brees, Rodgers, and Mahomes just for fun.
Yeah.
Like it's true, man. Like he beat three of the best.
But the greatest story of them all is that Tom Brady, Moro's guy, Jason Pierre-Paul, is 8-0 in the playoffs.
Right.
Yep.
He's undefeated.
Yes.
He has lost more fingers than playoff games.
I didn't want to be the one to bring it up. I didn't want to be the one, but
That's nuts that's actually a thing. Oh no.
Dude balled out.
Yeah, he was great.
He was unbelievable.
Their whole defense was great.
Yeah, like everyone was saying, oh, you should give it to the Tampa Bay defense should get the MVP, but I'm like, which one guy do you give it to?
That's what I mean. I said the same thing. I'm like, I think my brothers are like, why Brady and not like someone on the defense? It's like, well, which one? None of them were standouts. They were just all great.
Yeah, each unit was incredible. The front three, fantastic. David was making plays. White was making plays. And, I mean, you get 2 interceptions. The secondary was helping you out. Like, it was just ruthless. He had no time. I mean, I think my dad was telling me, he's like, how many yards did Mahomes run? I'm like, I don't know, probably north of 50. He's like, no. How many actual yards did he run
500 and something?
Around the field?
It was 464, I think.
400 something stupid yards. And he was scrambling. He had no time. And I mean, yeah, turf toe or not, Patrick Mahomes was still able to make do with the situation at hand, and he made some of the most ridiculous incompletions that we've ever seen.
If Williams,
so shout out to him,
man.
But damn, did that defense put on a show against the unstoppable Chiefs offense? Like that was just amazing to see.
Like I don't know what is actually more improbable. What happened? Brady playing a lights out game,
right?
Or Tampa being able to hold Mahomes. Mahomes looked mortal, like he did.
Yeah, so, he was human. That was wild.
I don't know if we want to get to this yet, or give Tampa Bay their flowers. If we want to talk about Mahomes yet,
whatever.
All right. Mahomes did everything in his possible power to will them to victory.
There were 6 key drop balls that he put in people's chest.
Correct.
Yeah.
But what was he going into the half? Wasn't he only like
100 yards and an interception, or something just north of 100?
Like
nothing.
So I'm going to be totally unfair to Patrick Mahomes here.
Okay.
Totally unfair. Like I'm saying it right now.
Yeah.
Yes, Mahomes did everything in his power to win that game. They did everything, but it wasn't good enough.
No.
Like. Patrick Mahomes is held to a higher standard than I'm holding any other quarterback in the league. All right?
Sure.
I'm holding him because there was a stupid conversation, unfair, unwarranted in terms of him right now of GOAT and baby GOAT. Like, shut the fuck up. He hasn't done, relatively to Tom Brady, he hasn't done anything. But if we want to bring that up, I think it's absolutely fair to hold him to the same expectations as Tom Brady.
If you want to be held in the same conversation with Tom Brady, you got to do Tom Brady things.
And it's not on.
And you got to beat him when you get the chance.
And it's not on Mahomes to do it because he's not the one that's obviously saying, "Oh, I'm better than Brady. I'm going to have a better career."
Yeah.
It's the media that's hyping up this talk.
Yeah.
And because it was an actual thing, I just like personally, I feel you have to be able to not just get absolutely waxed.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Tom Brady,
you got to show up.
If Tom Brady gets waxed like that, like if Brady lost the Atlanta game, like how it was in 28-3, he would be chastised for it. Absolutely chastised.
Yep.
The difference is he still performed regardless, even in the Philly Super Bowl that he lost the year after or whatever. He balled out in that game.
Yep, he was good. Didn't he? Was that the year he set the record for most completions, or was that the Seattle one?
Can't remember. Seattle.
Seattle?
I don't know, but regardless, like I can be wishy-washy here and say Mahomes played a great game, but I still expect more from him.
You could say he played a great game, but he also made a lot of really stupid decisions. Like every time they needed yardage, he was just trying to sling it downfield. Like there was never a time where you're trying to dump it off and try and pick up yards. Like that's what Brady did all night. Like if he needed yardage, he just throw it off in a screen pass, pick up yardage, get the first down, and go again. Pat Mahomes just seemed like he wanted the big yardage every time he threw the ball.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of drops. Yeah, he should have had more than what he got.
Yeah.
But like at some point you need to take in that it's just not working downfield and try and dial it back a bit and do your job.
Counterpoint. I thought that he didn't give a guy like Tyreek Hill enough chances. Yes, that he's getting double covered. But he's also the most explosive guy on that field. And you would think that like there was no deep shot to Tyreek Hill really.
There was one near the end zone that was
but that was like in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They locked him down. They never really had a great look at him.
It's all credit to Tampa and Todd Bowles. Like, has anyone in one game turned around the perception of them like Todd Bowles has? Because he was a laughingstock when he was the Jets head coach. Everyone knew he was a great defensive coordinator and everything.
Yeah,
but there hasn't. He's like the helium around that guy right now is unbelievable.
Oh yeah.
It's weird that, on your point, like it's weird they didn't try and do like shorter yard plays with Tyreek just to get him the ball because you know he can make plays with his legs and like utilize his speed a little bit more than what they did. Like everything they tried was like mid range and just like he was locked down every time he got the ball. They didn't try and throw to him at the line of scrimmage and let him work, which is weird. This is what I mean though. It's just like weird play calls and the fact that they didn't try and do something on that.
I noticed that too. Like there was one play where he hit Tyreek Hill on like a 7-yard slant.
Yeah,
and he kept going.
The 3rd and 34 or whatever it was, where he picked up 25 yards was like some short ass play that he just made something out of.
I think it was the play on. I don't know if it was third down, but when they were pinned in deep. I think Hardman didn't want to take it out inside the 10 and whatever. Like they're pinned, and on a third or second down, when whatever it was. 5 to the back of your goal line. He hits him on a 5-yard or 7-yard slant, and next thing you know, he's up the field for 20 yards though.
Yeah,
like there was just not enough of that. Like you expect him to be double covered in the deep shots, and you got to understand that that's the game plan. But like to everybody's point here is you have to be able to facilitate offense through him where he's not solely relied on in a 50-yard plus pass play. Like those opportunities should have been there for him, I think.
Shout out to the Bucs because they did exactly what we said they should in order to win this game. In locking down Tyreek and letting Kelsey get his. Like Kelsey still had 120 yards, I think it was it not?
Yeah. But he's not going to kill you on the.
He can't kill you alone.
It's not going to be a game-breaking play.
No.
Kelsey can get your 15, even 20-yard chunk plays, but he's not going to go for 80 yards.
No,
like Tyreek will.
No. You lock up Tyreek Hill and you're limiting the big play, and that's what they did.
Speaking of Tyreek Hill, I loved Antoine Whitfield Jr.'s peace sign.
Yes.
I didn't know the story of him doing that to him earlier in the year. I never saw that.
He does it to everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the backflip, but I know he does the piece.
I remember the backflip.
everyone.
I forgot it was against Tampa, but
Yeah.
I didn't know he literally did that to Winfield with the peace sign.
No, he does the peace sign to literally everyone.
But like in his face, like
Yeah.
as he's running by him.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I think I didn't really get it at first. I'm like, what are you doing, man? And then after I saw the videos, I'm like, you know what? Good for you, dude. That's like you got
you
yours.
make a play, it doesn't affect the game. Like why?
He wins. He wins at that point because it didn't cost them. They still got the ball, and they
That
won the
was a
Super
fourth
Bowl.
down, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a fourth down.
They won the Super Bowl. What can you say if you're Tyreek Hill? Like you've got
Exactly.
nothing. You've got nothing on him at this point.
They
It's like,
locked you up all game.
He had the interception. Too,
You weren't
to his,
good?
To his credit,
Yeah.
Wasn't it Devin White or did
They
Mahomes
had
throw
two.
two?
They had
he threw two. He had the early one.
I
one
thought
that-
the biggest lock of the game was Brady throwing an interception, just because like he does that in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And he just didn't.
Yeah.
Didn't he have
I
one?
mean,
that
he
got-
almost-
he had one. That
it
got
He
He
had
would've-
the
back,
one on the
but-
holding. Yeah.
What do you guys think? Okay, let's just hit that narrative because I think this is an interesting one, and I've seen a lot of people right now
Yeah.
talking about how the refs helped the Bucks win this one.
Mhm.
I think that's bullshit for starters.
Okay.
There were some bad calls, yes.
Yeah.
There were like 2 bad calls,
Yeah.
but like
was-
the refs
it
aren't the
was-
ones not scoring points for the
They were-
Bucks.
The calls that they made, I don't even necessarily know if they were bad, but they don't need to be made.
Sure,
In the
But-
regular season, sure, but in the playoffs,
Everyone-
you
like-
expect them to be physical.
the story was just like, oh well, the Bucks only had 2 flags and the what do you call it? The Chiefs had 9. It's like, yeah, the Chiefs deserved at least 7 of those 9, and the
Right.
Bucks really played a flawless game on defense. I can't tell you a time where they probably should have been flagged.
Right.
Maybe you guys have an example, but I couldn't find one where they should have been flagged on something egregious that they missed.
So the one that was egregious to me was the Mike Evans play along
PI,
the
yeah.
sideline.
That's the
Just 'cause,
one.
like-
That's the only flag I'm looking at that was the right or the wrong call.
I
And-
disagree though.
Full speed. I think it was the right call because
Inadvertent.
even looking
It's
at it,
inadvertent.
I don't think it's a
But-
catchable ball.
I think it's a. I think it's a touchdown.
it's a
don't think
catch. It might be a catchable ball for Mike
I don't
Evans.
think I don't think it's a catchable ball.
I think
that
it's a
ball's
catch.
too out in
I
front.
think
I-
he's well within his right to reach that ball if he's not. If there's
If
no
he doesn't-
contact made.
But it's incidental contact was the other thing. It's like their feet.
Right.
Like,
But
tapped together.
inadvertent contact or not, he's hindered his ability to play the ball.
Sure.
But I think that's the worst call of the game, and we can argue about that all day
And
long.
then okay. But then are you
I think
also
the offside
are
one.
you also saying that the Tyrann Matthew one in the end zone with Mike
I think that
Evans
was a call.
catchable
I don't think it was a PI.
was that a catchable
but it-
ball though either?
It's not a pass interference, but it's a hold because he's past 10 yards and he's grabbing all over him. Like he doesn't
But
let
they got
Mike
it-
Evans go.
But they called it PI.
It shouldn't have been pass interference, but it's a
but
call
that's
and it
what
still
it
gets
was.
them the first down and it doesn't make a difference. Right? Like I do agree that call was wrong and I think it shouldn't have been pass interference, but it's definitely a flag and it still results in a first down and Tom Brady still does what he does from the 3 as opposed to the 1.
Also, so here's another point I want to make. I love that the referees were at least consistent
Yeah.
in their calls.
Yeah.
Like my big gripe from the Green Bay game was that they were inconsistent. Literally, they were allowing Tampa's DBs to play, but they weren't allowing Green Bay's.
Yeah.
But they called it both ways in this situation. There just wasn't a time
Yep.
where it like stands out to me where Tampa's
Tampa
like
did something
egregiously
wrong.
holding because like Mahomes wasn't force feeding the ball downfield, and I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
And then-
I think it's a bad thing, but
Yeah. Then you look at the other ones, like the punt, there was a hold. Plain and simple. It was a
Yeah.
hold. It went back, and then your punter blew it. Like, yeah, the ref made even if you
Yeah.
want to call that a bad call,
No,
make a
it's
punt, dude. That was a terrible kick.
Yeah.
And then the
Shit,
other one on
there
the
was one
where they
that one.
straight up lined up offside. What do you want to do?
That one
Well,
for me
first
is
of all-
probably the soft one though.
first of all, Kansas City didn't know that they had a terrible punter because they just didn't punt all season.
Yeah, that's fair. I forget who was it that tweeted out like maybe they should have punted more this season just to see what they got or whatever. That's so funny. Like fair. I mean, it sucks. He dropped that first one and booted it like 70 yards and then cleanly got the next one and booted it like 20.
No, you
was like,
shanked that
oh.
thing.
He shanked it hard.
Oh, that's
Like
tough.
you could completely see it from the start. Like,
He just had a tough start to that game. He was not good.
oh, and he got roasted by my mom. My mom said today he has shitty hair.
My mom said the same thing actually.
it's like the grade of this dude's hair is trash.
So funny.
Um,
But But no, those are both calls you make, and like you can't blame the refs for the fact that they just couldn't catch balls.
Mm-hmm.
The refs aren't the reason the Chiefs only put up 9 points.
Yeah.
Right.
They didn't miss any calls on the D.
For me,
No.
the biggest one in terms of could they not have called it was the offside one that, like, any Brady hater is going to look at they hit the field goal, but because he lined up offside, now they get an extra 7 or they get the +4 on the, like, I think that's probably the only one that really brings up a whole, that's a typical Brady call. Like, other than that, like,
they were both lined up offside. They were both offside on both sides.
I know, and I agree. I'm just saying, like, I feel like out of all of them to say, that's so typical. That's
sure.
Tom Brady for you. I think that's the one that hits it.
Like, you can give me that argument all you want, but like, it's wrong. They made the right call, and like, that's bottom line is the refs made the right call on 98% of the flags they threw. I will give you the one on Mike Evans there. I don't think that was a PI, but you can have that argument with me all day. Yeah. But the rest of them, I don't think they missed a call, and I don't think Tampa really did much on defense that deserved a flag.
You weren't going to win the game with Kansas City not scoring a touchdown. I think that's the most incredible part.
Exactly.
Like, what was the worst unit on the field? Kansas City defense or Kansas City offense?
Kansas City's wide receivers, I think.
Kansas City's defense also got them a goal line stand, so they at least gave them a shot.
Yeah. They gave them hope.
Kansas City's offense, for me, they were the worst.
Which is wild. They were supposed to be the best unit of
the group. They were the best going into the game in terms of how hyped they were. Insane. Like, it's crazy.
I think we got like a lot of it. A lot of it was a mirage based off of the 40-point game that they put up against the Bills the week before. Because like, I know earlier in the week, like I told you guys, I don't see a way that Kansas City's not like winning this game, just because how good they looked, and how like I wasn't sold on Tampa's offense, but it's incredible that we're sitting here and like the majority of the 16 minutes that we've been live for, we spent talking about Kansas City and everything they've done wrong. Yeah, and we're not giving credit to the fact that Brady was perfect. Brady was
incredible, dude.
Incredible.
He it was one of the best Super Bowls he's ever. Gronk was incredible. Guy put up 2 touchdowns.
It's literally 2015.
Shit. It was incredible because we had look at everyone that was performing well. If I told you like 5 years ago, exactly.
AB.
Yeah.
Fournette.
Yeah.
JPP.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Tom Brady.
What the hell, man? Incredible what they did. It was just
Sue had a pretty good game too. If you're gonna throw in 2015 players at us.
Yeah.
It was the first time ever that Tom Brady scored a touchdown in the first quarter of a Super Bowl.
Incredible.
First time.
Really.
Yeah. And it was such a How did Tom Brady turn this Bucs team into a likable team?
I don't know.
I think
that's
I hated him in New England. I don't know what it was.
People hated him in New England because they always thought that he had it made for him.
Sure.
And I mean, this to me is the most biggest signifier of how great a player individually he is. He
went to such a shit team. Like, we can all agree that the Bucs were not good last year, and they
had a good
turned
defense,
them into a
super
good
defense.
But they weren't as a team. They weren't good.
A good rushing.
They had the pieces. They had the pieces there.
But they weren't just good.
But that was
it wasn't even close,
a lot of it was because of Jameis Winston, though.
Right. But they weren't that good, and he turned them. They literally didn't make the playoffs last year, and he turned them into a Super Bowl team. Super Bowl winning team.
A team doesn't just
go from not making the playoffs.
It helps that you have
Super Bowl. Like that's a huge swing.
Yeah. It helps that you have Gronk and AB come in. Fournette did his job. He had a couple other names, but he was a big chunk of how that played out.
I think the key was like they made unreal draft picks. Obviously, their first 2 picks with Tristan Wirfs was arguably one of the best tackles in the league this year as a rookie. Stay hot, Giants. And Antoine Winfield Jr. was unreal at safety. Like, he was actually unbelievable.
Yep. He was a game changer in that game.
And if anyone watched these guys in college, you would have seen that these people were ballers from then. And the fact that they what worse was the 4th tackle taken in the draft, that's crazy. And then Winfield in the second round. Like, if the Bucs go back to back, Brady is he the greatest athlete of all time? to basically start his career, not winning 2 in the first 2 years, but to basically bookend a career.
Yeah.
with
40.
He has 2
he'll
Hall of
be?
Fame careers. He has 2 Hall of Fame careers within his career. If
He's
you
got
split his
3
numbers
Hall
in
of
half.
Fame careers.
Yeah, realistically. Like,
Yeah.
it's insane. But a buddy of mine posed this question. They was comparing Jordan to Brady. Because Brady now has more championships than Jordan. It's just like, if you
Right.
put the two of them together, which one's better? And I'm like, realistically,
Brady.
has more playoff success.
Yep.
Like, there's
Longevity
there's
matters.
a guy in the same group that was just like, well, Jordan never lost in the finals. I'm like, yeah,
Like,
Jordan
I don't
also
care.
missed the finals.
Exactly.
Like, what was it, 7 times? I think it was.
Like, would you rather him not get there?
Brady made it. That's his 11th or 10th? 10th time.
10th.
Time, and he is 7 for 10 with 5 MVPs in those finals.
7. Yeah.
7 for 10, 5 MVPs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know how you say anything else about the guy. Like, he is a winner. Yes, he had some good teams. And I've seen the narrative go around now that he had a cakewalk in all 7 of his things. I'm like, that's fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I've heard that one.
No.
Bullshit. I saw this one graphic that was showing why they're all cakewalks, and one of them was like, oh, the 28-3 choke. It's like, no, that's not a 28-3 choke. That's
No.
the greatest quarterback of all time coming back
Being
down
perfect.
28-3.
Yeah.
That's not a cakewalk.
No.
Like, and then they're talking about there was a bunch of other ones that were just completely stupid.
Tuck
Like, do
rule
not
one
talk to me
year,
about that.
the interception on the goal line the
Yeah.
other year.
Yeah. You
Tampa,
still had a in
Falcons
fairness to
lose
that
the lead.
interception one, the play right before that to put them on the goal line there was that fucking, what's his name? Was it Baldwin that made that catch like on his ass between his legs?
something ugly and very.
I think it
very-
was
Wait,
Baldwin.
which Super Bowl? In
In
which
the
Super Bowl?
Seattle one.
Oh,
because-
Jermaine Curse.
Was it Curse?
Yeah,
That like
it was
caught it like
cursed.
under his
Yeah.
legs? Yeah. Like that is not a play that happened. That is a straight up luck play because
Yeah.
the Patriots had it in the bag and then they have this Hail Mary of a pass that he catches like that. So don't tell me that the interception is the reason they won that.
I think Brady has like he should be 7 for 10. I think he's won the right amount of Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Because you could say that he's had luck in terms of obviously being able to come back against the Falcons and the Seahawks.
Mhm.
But also like they won the first 3. It was an upset of the Rams, obviously the first year. And then if you look at one of the Giants ones, he definitely should have won.
The year they went,
The
they were
Tyree.
perfect
Yeah.
until that point. You can't tell me that.
They were the
Yeah,
best
tell me
team
that
in the
they-
league.
Was
They probably
anything-
should have won both of them if we're being honest.
They were the favorite
Yeah.
going into
In
both.
both.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, that's the other thing. This is the first time Brady's been the underdog.
underdog.
since the
Underdog,
Rams
yeah.
one, right? I'm pretty sure.
believe so. He definitely
would-
wasn't.
I'm
He might
assuming-
have been against the Seahawks because I think the Seahawks are the best record in the NFL.
Right.
But even still, like, it's nuts.
I-
I hate the cakewalk narrative. Well, I don't know why this year is the year that we just rip on everybody's championships. Like we're doing it with Brady now. We did it with LeBron. It's like, shut up. Like,
I think the right teams have won.
yeah.
Tampa was the most complete team in the league.
Mhm.
There wasn't anyone with a combination of offense and defense that was better in the league.
Nope. All
Green
credit to
Bay-
them. They took a random bag of stars, put them together, and made them all work.
Mhm.
Like AB was not a guy you would expect to work as like the secondary, maybe, third receiver.
You're right.
mhm.
and then you have Mike Evans taking way less yardage than he had the previous 7 years.
Chris Godwin takes a huge step back
Yeah.
from last year. Like
Exactly, and like none of
OJ
them care.
Howard gets hurt during the year. Ronald Jones,
Leonard Fournette, and
fumbles
Ronald
like
Jones are
crazy.
splitting
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah.
Gronk plays as a blocking tight end until
Tight end.
literally
Exactly.
the Super Bowl,
Exactly,
and then he
Like-
comes out and has his coming out party again, like it's 2012.
and
Like it's nuts.
nobody
Well,
complained.
Let's talk about that.
I love
Gronk
him.
had his.
I love him.
He's a character,
It was
man.
it was incredible the fact
I love
that
him.
they're the same age.
Oh my
Kelsey and Gronk,
Him and Kelsey.
Why
I
does,
was
Gronk, why does
shocked.
Gronk feel like he's Brady's age?
right?
Like it's
Because
Nuts.
he's definitely had the injuries relative to
Right.
Kelsey.
Sure,
And he
sure.
also started
Age
out
him.
so hot at the age of
Mhm.
like 21,
Yeah.
and it was unbelievable for like 6 or 7 years, and then he got hurt and slowed down and stuff. Obviously, took a year
It's-
off last year, but like he's the GOAT tight end, and I don't think it's close.
Do you ever think about how crazy it is for him going through what he went with, like Aaron Hernandez, and like how close they were in that unit, and like having to live through all that, and then still coming back and still being what he is today.
Just
is like
the ups and downs of like
and like all the injuries he went through, obviously, are the story too. But just like knowing Aaron and being that close with him, and then just everything going to shit, and then retiring for a year and coming back and still being the dominant force that he's been sometimes. Like it's crazy, man. What an absolute character, though. Did you see him after in like all his interviews?
Yeah, he's.
Oh, he was great.
Did you see the one about the fish tank? Did you see the one about the fish tank?
No.
They interview and they're like, "So, are we getting the invite to the after party?" He's like, "Yeah, the after party is going to be at an aquarium. So we're going to swim with there's going to be like fish and sharks and whales and shit. I'll swim with them. I don't care." He goes, "I'm a tank. I should be in the fish." Because like fish tank. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. I have another one.
I know there was the one with Mike Evans was at the like podium where he's talking to NFL Network and he was telling Mike Evans, "Let's go turn up, man." He's like, I'm trying to come go turn. Like
the one with Brady too. Do you see the one with Brady where he's like, "Tommy G"?
Oh yeah.
I'm like,
there was the one where I think Fournette threw his glove at him and he just, whoa. This is Leonard Fournette's glove. Like he's just awesome to watch.
He's such a great guy. It's just hilarious, man.
He's a goof.
He's just so likable. If you don't like Rob Gronkowski, I do not understand it.
Yeah,
like he's just such a likable guy.
Extremely.
Then I think he did the Mickey and Minnie Mouse.
Yeah, with the spike
at Disneyland.
So funny.
Or Disney World rather.
It's on his TikTok. It's hilarious. Yeah. It's just an incredible character, and like him having all this success couldn't happen to a better guy. Realistically, like, love it.
Like, say what you want, you can hate on Tom Brady all you want. Him being there has to lighten the mood in the slightest.
Oh,
like you can despise the shit out of Brady, but seeing that guy win and the laughter he brings, like it's priceless.
My favorite thing to look at is the headshots of Tom Brady's over the years.
God.
The guy went from like a 4 to a 9. I don't understand. He's better looking at 43 than he was at 20.
The evolution of his jawline.
Boys, we have so much hope. We've got 20 more years.
Don't you? Yeah. It's the same with like the Kylie Jenner stuff, man.
Yeah.
It's not that you're ugly; it's that they have money.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You're right. There goes my hope.
Yeah.
That's bad.
It was an extremely boring Super Bowl. If we're honest.
Not a good game.
Considering the hype that was made before the game in terms of scoring fest, the goat, baby goat, and then one of them just doesn't decide to show up in terms of what he's known for, scoring. Like
right.
It takes two to tango. See where it lagged.
It takes two to tango to get a great Super Bowl, and one team showed up and one team didn't. Not that Mahomes didn't show up, but like, look, none of it. He didn't get help from any of his receivers.
Like he makes his receiver makes one of those catches on the stupid effort like the crazy and stupid play he makes, the turnaround throw, the one where he's looking like he's White Goodman from Dodgeball. Like it's nuts.
It's insane, dude. Insane. He did everything he could. It just did not work.
Yeah.
No. Who's the favorite going into next year?
It's probably the Chiefs.
I think it's the same two teams, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure.
At least I think that's what the odds say, but I mean, would we not agree on that? Like it's
I would assume, yeah.
So here's Chiefs plus 450, Packers plus 800, Bucks plus 800, Bills plus 1100, Ravens plus 1100, 49ers plus 1400.
I guess.
Same with the Rams.
If the Niners are healthy, they're a good team.
The Niners got a quarterback. They're a good team.
Again, that entire division, you never know.
I like the 49ers the best in that division if they get a quarterback.
Who's their division?
Rams, the Cardinals,
Seahawks.
The Rams, Seahawks, yeah. All of them though, like the Rams too. They've got a solid defense.
And a quarterback now.
Matt Stafford now, which was probably your biggest question mark this year as to why you wouldn't have made it further in the playoffs. I mean, they already made second round. You can't go any further.
Yeah, Brady, you should bet on the Panthers plus 5,000.
Nice.
I'd do it. Man, if they get a quarterback, I think they have a chance to be a playoff team.
No, for sure.
But I don't think.
What are the Giants at?
They're not in that echelon yet.
The Giants are at plus 6,600.
We're better than the Giants.
It would really take a stupid trade to bring in Deshaun Watson, but should that ever... I know that they've already called it off and said that it's not happening, but in the event that happens, that's the only chance I see. So yeah, it's another L.
Apparently the Panthers checked in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're any GM in the league, you got to at least do your due diligence.
Yeah, you got to ask.
Yep.
Is that it with the Super Bowl? Oh, how was the halftime?
I liked it.
I loved it.
A lot of people hated it.
Good.
The Weeknd.
It's such a polarizing show, apparently, because I thought it was pretty good. And a lot of people thought it was the worst of all time.
Oh, that's cap.
I wouldn't say
that's what I mean.
Justin Timberlake was worse.
Maroon 5 was way worse.
I think
Justin Timberlake was fine, but
I think Justin Timberlake was worse because I like.
There's a lot that were bad.
I had a lot of people, like a lot of buddies, saying like Timberlake is bad and stuff. I'm like, Timberlake got some hits, but like the Weeknd got more hits.
Yeah,
I think the performance was good.
Yeah,
I just think that
the Weeknd's not a
the genre of music though, like Blinding Lights, the performance for that and just the upbeat tempo it has as a song, I think was the most fitting thing in terms of the Super Bowl.
What was the last one that they closed on?
Blinding Lights, wasn't it?
Blinding Lights.
Yeah.
Because the visuals with that and the fireworks was unreal.
I think
that was
up
one of the
until
best
that
shots
point, I can see why you might think it would have dragged, but I mean, like, you also just gotta like the artist, and I think like if you're part of like the 50-year-old, typical American old man watching,
if you're 50 or under, I think you like that Super Bowl that halftime. If you're because like the Weeknd hits all demographics still, even though all he talks about is sex and drugs.
But it's like,
everyone likes him.
He does it nicely.
He has a nice voice. Like everyone's like, oh, like I remember throwing on like, Drake had a feature with Michael Jackson. I'm like, my dad's like, shut the fuck up. That's a Weeknd. Like, because they sound so alike.
He's got a really nice voice. I think there are points I understand. Like he didn't sound great, but the counterpoint to that is he didn't record anything previously, which literally everybody does, and he did all of it live, which is impossible to like sound consistent for your entire show. So respect to him for that. And then like you can't bash the show for like its lack of theatrics because they literally couldn't do anything. They weren't allowed to do it on field because they couldn't bring in the manpower to move that stage. So they had to do it up where they did it. You're in a COVID year where you can't really produce much and like you can't rehearse anything. So what the hell do you want them to do?
I think because it was a COVID year, it actually helped the Weeknd in a way because he's not like a performer. No. He's a singer.
Yeah.
So I think that helped him. But in terms of like perfect Super Bowl artists, I think this was pretty close to this as you'll get with hitting all demographics and like it being a pop show still and like everyone like I don't think there's really a demographic that dislikes the Weeknd. It's just not the most entertaining show.
No.
A lot of people were like, it's better than last year. And I'm just like, watch your mouth. That was a great show last year with J-Lo and Shakira. I was listening for the music.
I was only there for the music. I didn't even watch. I just listened.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of dumbass people talking about like, oh, how come this isn't racist? It's all black people. There's not a single white person. It's like, first of all, if that's your point, you're an idiot because you don't even understand what the purpose of the show.
Right.
Because like there's a reason behind the people that are running around the field, and if you miss that, you're a fucking idiot. And two, like, give your head a shake, man. Like, who cares? It's just some people are fucking.
Oh, this fucker really break it up then. Toot your own horn. Come on.
I don't want to be the one to toot my own horn, but you guys leave me no choice. But
I was gonna at the beginning.
Okay,
and then I got
go for it.
I got the Jason Pierre-Paul one instead, so I like that better. All right, Mauro.
Sweet.
When you're hot, you're hot. You've been hot all year, bro.
I think I really could
have on a heater.
I could have won serious. I could have won serious money if I put this.
No shit, dude. What was your?
He got one game.
I had a near perfect bracket. I got Pittsburgh wrong, and that's it. I had the perfect bracket, less Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Like I won my family one, but like. I'm just mad I didn't get it spot on. Like, fuck you, Ben.
What do you mean? Comeback player of the year, Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh my
Oh,
was
that's
my
another thing.
God.
49 of 50 votes to Alex Smith, and
Who?
one writer voted.
Who? Do we
Ben
know
Roethlisberger.
who?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
If they ever get a vote again, this is embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why Big Ben should have been the comeback player of the year. Yeah, cool comeback. Good job. You came back and you played. You're not Alex Smith. Fuck right off.
Yeah.
The fact that Alex Smith played a game made him the comeback player of the year.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But Moro, to your horn.
No, I was just gonna say, like, honestly, I stuck with this bracket across every pool I did it with. I think I only did like 2 or 3, and I kept it the same for ours. And I mean,
Did you
I
win
was
all
perfect.
of them or no?
Oh, I won with us. I won with my family, and I think that was everything. I don't think I did. I think it was 2 that I did. So yeah, like, but I'm just thinking, like, imagine I had put it into one of those
Dude,
like
you could have made
ESPN,
bank, man.
Like,
I'm
fuck
sure
me.
that they had a perfect bracket just because
that Pittsburgh game might have busted a lot.
There's robots that just
Yeah.
they just
Have like
submit.
7 brackets.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
But still,
But yeah.
good on you, Mo. Congratulations.
football was my thing this year. So.
I was going to say, congratulations on making us both look like idiots.
Hold
Nice.
on.
I looked way worse.
I've
get
seen
me wrong.
football
Is
across
this-
this podcast.
Who was last year in the picks? Was
I
it
think this is
I
a
think
big
Morrow was.
comeback
okay?
year for
So
me.
it was a big comeback.
This is a big
There
comeback year for me.
I dropped 1 spot.
you go. Yeah.
I went from second to
So-
third. I'm coming for it next year.
Okay.
In terms of football playoffs, I think that was it. The only other thing I wanted to bring up football related was Aaron Donald getting the defensive player of the year.
Okay.
And I know that a lot of people are saying TJ Watt got snubbed. What are your thoughts?
No.
Yes.
Great. Let's talk it out.
TJ Watt had better defensive stats in every single category but one.
He played less games as well.
And he played less games.
What position is harder to play? Thank you. And it's not close. To be able to get pressure from the outside is significantly easier because you're not getting doubled and triple team.
Fair.
You can get double team. You're not getting triple team. And the way that Aaron Donald changes the game,
Yeah.
TJ Watt doesn't really. He's not.
TJ Watt was irrelevant against Cleveland. I think that loses you the award on its own, even though it doesn't matter.
I just think I'm trying to look at there. I found it. So yeah, more tackles. Don't give a shit. Sacks 13.5 compared to 15.
That's
13.5 from a defensive tackle is
DT,
insane.
man.
12 tackles for a loss to 23. I don't care about tackles again. Pressures, okay, fine. You should get more pressures in terms, but that pressures is so subjective too.
Yeah.
QB hits. Watt had significantly more forced fumbles. Aaron Donald doubled them up.
Right?
Passes defended doesn't matter at all in terms of their position. And TJ Watt had 1 interception. I think it was just JJ Watt just sticking up for his brother, which is
for
fine.
sure. I mean, I respect him for it. JJ's a great guy.
Right.
I mean, good for
Get him to a winning team. Yep.
But like, you can't argue that Aaron Donald is the best defensive player in the league.
Right.
So if the
I'm
race is
cool with
between
you.
him,
I'm cool with giving them the award.
if the race is between him and literally anyone close to him, it's going to him because he is the best defensive player in the league. Like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
but his numbers weren't as good.
I think PFF also rated Aaron Donald the best player in the league. So for what that's worth.
He's good.
And he has the
Yeah,
track record. Like, I'm fine with
Yeah.
giving him if it's close until that player declines.
Yeah. He also wouldn't fit in my studio, so that gives him a big advantage.
I mean, he's 6 feet tall as a defensive
And
tackle.
6
doing
feet
this.
wide.
Incredible.
Massive. He also benches like 300
Like
and something
6'1".
pounds.
He's his whole bugaboo was that he was a short defensive tackle
There was a
coming into the draft.
Did you see the conversation when I think it was on Barstool, but it was DK Metcalf and
Aaron Donald.
in the same
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
DK was so hyped about his like 250 that he was benching or whatever it was, and he goes, "Yeah, I bench 5."
Yeah.
He goes, "What?"
I mean, he's an all-pro year after year, defensive rookie of the year. This is his 3rd defensive player of the year. That's fucking crazy. I mean, yeah, like I saw it come up. Obviously, the stats suggest TJ Watt had a better year specifically, but obviously, yeah, like you bring up the point.
I didn't really
He's
think
got
of that
better. The stats are all relative given the position he plays, right? Like, I don't think anybody faces a double team more than Aaron Donald does in the league.
Like 15 sacks from a edge rusher isn't otherworldly.
Good, but it's no.
Like you get guys with 20 plus sacks in a year. Like
yeah. How many did he get? 15 and a half?
15.
I mean, yeah, it's not as if it was a crazy year in terms of who led the league in sacks 2020. Sorry, 2019. Sack leaders.
Myles Garrett was up there, but
2019 tackle stats.
Shaquille
because
Barrett
I feel like well, there you go. Like, okay, Shaq Barrett,
Chandler Jones
he also
19,
got 19 and a half.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like, it wasn't
egregious.
It led everybody, but it was relative to past years. I don't think it met that bar that's been set. So
TJ Watt went from 14
went
from 14 and a half sacks to 15. Like, it wasn't like he's an unbelievable player.
Yeah.
One of the best defenders in the league.
But he's not.
He doesn't affect the game the way Aaron Donald does.
That's fair.
And I don't think, and to be fair, no one in the league does.
No. On either side of the ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Except for guys that touch the ball in every play.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we could bring up again. The other thing was that Detroit asked for Aaron Donald in a return for Matthew Stafford.
So funny. That's so funny. Could you imagine coming at him with that call? How quick does he hang up?
You just don't answer.
No, okay, that's
clearly they didn't hang up.
We're looking for Aaron. Nope.
Go trade for Aaron Rodgers instead. He's more gettable.
Yeah, you have a better chance.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Right.
That's funny.
Is that
I
it?
think we're done.
Yeah, I think that was everything I wanted to talk about football.
Okay. Let's talk about the NHL. There was a seismic move today.
Yeah.
A very truculent move.
Pittsburgh. What are you doing?
How could Pittsburgh hire Ron Hextall? I don't believe it.
The only move that would have been worse would have been fucking Peter Chiarelli.
Yeah.
Like,
we obviously are referring to Brian Burke being hired as the GM.
Brian Burke and Hextall. I didn't like either one. They're the second and third worst options available.
Ron Hextall in Pittsburgh just doesn't. Sounds ugly.
Yeah,
he's got such a big history.
With Philly,
goalie in Philly. He's been the GM in Philly. He goes to Pittsburgh, the state rival.
He got ran out of Philly. They hated him.
Yeah,
and I know Philly hates a lot of people, but he did a terrible job. He gave a lot of people a lot of money. He did he's not a good GM, and he's back. Why are we recycling the same list of shit GMs? Explain that to me. There's nobody else?
To be fair, he got a promotion to president.
Who? Hextall?
Brian Burke. Oh, sorry.
No, Hextall.
Was Hextall their coach, or was he their GM?
No, he's their GM.
He was GM.
He was a terrible GM in Philly, and he's why are we recycling the same dumbass guys that have not been relevant?
That's literally all hockey does. It's they just run through them like a train.
And then Brian Burke. Brian Burke has one Stanley Cup.
Right.
One. Mm-hmm. On a team that should have won the Stanley Cup that he didn't even put together. Mm-hmm. He's never put together a good team. Ever in his life.
I don't hate the Burke hire.
I hate it. He's not a good hockey mind anymore.
He's going to be it's going to be one truculent hockey team in Pittsburgh.
Oh, I'm telling you God. Now. Yeah, that's a bunch of idiots in charge of it that don't actually know how the game works anymore.
Here's why I like it.
Because I don't have to listen to him on Sportsnet.
No.
That is why I love it.
One, it gets you off of the Pittsburgh Sidney Crosby train.
I still love Sid, but oh my God, what a dumb move.
Two, this is going to be terrible for Sidney Crosby's rest of his career.
Yeah, he's not winning ever again.
How long till
or he's getting traded. He's getting traded. They're both gone within 2 to 3 years. I don't see either of them staying. Why would either of them want to be there?
I don't see Crosby getting traded.
It's going to be hard.
He's already talking about it.
Around. It's going to be hard for them to stick around and see what kind of vision these guys are going to bring in, and to have the two guys that have been the pillars of your franchise for the last decade and a half to buy into whatever they're selling. That's all I got. Like, it's going to be tough to try and sell Crosby,
Malkin's
Letang,
gone.
and Malkin on whatever you're trying to sell them. It's tough.
Malkin's big and not all that tough. Doesn't
Malkin's
play all that
also
tough.
his
He's
contract's
gone.
ending next year, I think.
He's gone. Because there's no way Burke wants a guy like Evgeny Malkin. That's just not his style of player.
He's a Russian.
Yeah,
He's not American.
No. I mean, he's not far off.
He likes truculence.
He does like the Sedins though, because he drafted them and they ended up successful. It's his only successful story in his entire fucking career. But
yeah,
man, you know what? You know what? I hate it for the Penguins. I love that he's gone. I'm so excited to watch a hockey broadcast that doesn't feature that miserable looking face with that stupid ass haircut.
Hold on. Berkey has two good moves. The Sedins, and then telling Ottawa to fuck off when they drafted Kadri.
You like that kid Kadri, eh? We're going to take him.
Take him.
He does have some good sound bites. That's all I'll give him. Like, I've never been a fan of any.
The guy has run the same dead narrative of trading Nylander for fucking 3 or 4 years now. I'm so sick of it. He's got nothing. Literally nothing. When's the last time he's made a point that you're like, oh, that makes sense?
I don't know. I think the Leafs could definitely use great Pittsburgh defenseman Mike Matheson. I think they could definitely use him.
I think it's an even trade 1-for-1 for Nylander.
Yep. Absolutely.
Of course. Mark Borowiecki, definitely a 1-for-1 deal he would have made.
Speaking of the Leafs.
Holy Christ.
Choo-choo, hook-chook.
Hook-chook.
Wayne Simmons is no more. Should I explain the hook-chook?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So one day I booted up my laptop after Wayne Simmons scored, and I tried to quickly type choo-choo, but it came out hoo-chook.
Hoo-chook.
And it's just been a
And
thing.
it is stuck.
Hoo-chook.
Brad was on it on the last scored, and I'm just like, oh shit, yeah, that's right.
Hoo-chook.
And it's honestly just funny. It's
it.
gonna suck that he's gone for a month.
I
now,
know.
But once he's back,
I know.
it's gonna be fun.
Because he had a chance for the Hattie, and I was just like, wait, why is he not out there?
Yeah.
He's literally everything that I wanted in a Leaf, and I never want him to play for another franchise ever again.
Now, I just like to bring up, this has created an absolute war in Leafs Twitter, Wayne Simmons in general. Because I understand, I'm on the side of, I'm upset when Wayne Simmons gone. It sucks. He's a good player. But then there's the other side. They're like, why are you upset that Wayne Simmons gone? He's a role player. And it's like full-on war between both sides. I don't get, this is like the most divided I've ever seen Leafs Nation since Jake Gardner. It's like one of those.
Who provides more to the Leafs? Zach Hyman or Wayne Simmons?
Wayne Simmons. I don't think Zach Hyman's doing much this year.
Okay, Zach Hyman's a tough one to bring up because
I think
for
Zach
what
Hyman
Wayne Simmons brings in the goal scoring and physicality, Hyman does bring in the penalty killing and just the sheer work ethic that nobody else on the team has.
Exactly. Which is why
they're one and the same, but they do two different things.
Hyman's not going to beat your teeth in.
Right.
But he'll beat you to the boards and win you the puck that's going to get you a goal.
But
which is why
he hasn't even had to this year because Austin Matthews is doing a better job of it. He's kind of irrelevant on that line right now because they just have the puck.
Wayne Simmons was the 5th best forward on the Leafs this season.
After the 4, then him,
Marner,
correct.
Tavares. I don't think Willie's been that good.
Really?
I like him. I still love Willie, but he's been looking rough for the past few games.
Fair. So
he started off really hot. I think he's cooled down a little bit, but I'd still put him ahead of Simmons.
Am I crazy to think like JT also?
No, JT's been good. Like
he's cool.
Here's the thing with JT. You don't notice him.
No, exactly. His all-around game
on nights where he's not scoring, you don't notice him.
He's like 50-something% in the faceoff dot too. Like he's been really good there. But like obviously he's not putting up Matthews and Marner points, but like he still has 6 goals in the year now. Mm-hmm. And like he's up there in points. Like he's been really good. Mm-hmm. And he just does a lot off the puck that you don't really notice.
I think that's all we have for the.
I got one thing.
Wait, I want to
one
talk defense actually,
thing. Okay, we got
Okay.
2 things then.
because they ran 7 defense, and
That was
Sandin
bad.
played, I believe it was 5 minutes on the dot, and he got an
Yeah.
assist. Why is he not in the lineup more?
For who though?
Literally anyone.
But I don't.
It's I know it's hard.
I agree with
because
you. I think
even
Sandin needs to play.
Lettinen is really starting to come into his own.
Lettinen's a better defenseman than Rasmus
Yeah.
Sandin is right now, just based on experience and age and stuff like that. And I think he's a better puck mover, and he's on that second power play. And it's just like nobody else can really come out for Sandin right now. Like he's a left D man, so you're not taking out Riley, you're not
Riley,
taking out
Muzzin.
Muzzin.
Yeah.
So basically, your conversations between
Zach
Sandin and Lettinen,
Well, like it.
or move
Because-
Lettinen over. But
Well, because Bogosian's been good, he's not in
Yeah.
the conversation. Because
no, exactly.
you could play one of them on the right side,
hmm
but because he's been so good that like you don't need to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Man, Bogosian has
He's been
blown
fine.
me away with what he's been able to do. Like I didn't expect
Yeah.
him to be any sort of difference maker on this team, and he's actually made really nice plays in the back end. I think
He's
he's been
able
good
to
enough.
log heavy
Yeah,
penalty kill minutes.
yeah.
Mhm.
He's really good at breaking up passes. It's just he does a good job back there. And I love Sandin. I think he deserves a spot on an NHL team. It's
Yeah.
just as of right now, I don't see a spot
You
for
wonder if
him
it's
this
gonna-
season.
So brings up the question: is he a trade chip or because
Yeah.
like
No,
Here's-
not for me. Just
so
because
here's why.
But
When does he actually get to draw in the line?
yeah,
Morgan Riley's a free agent after this year or next year?
Next year.
Probably then.
is it gonna come to a point where he?
But then he's off his ELC.
Well,
like,
Okay, so you also have Lettinen's gone. Lettinen's probably gone after this year. I don't see them
I
re-signing
mean, you have
him.
RFA rights too.
Yeah, but I think if he doesn't play, he's going back to the K, and I
Right.
could see that
Right.
happening. This is, I think it's just something you get to prepare for because Lettinen's gone, Dermott could be gone, and you're now stuck with Muzzin, who's aging, and Riley on your left side, and nothing behind that.
Mm-hmm.
Sandin's not really a guy you can lose, but it just sucks you can't get him into games. If there's an AHL season, we're not even having a conversation because he's down there dominating. But because
Right.
he's not really playing games right now, it's a really shitty spot.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
think
not getting better.
no. I think realistically, your trade chip is Travis Dermott, and you put Sandin into that rotation with Lettinen.
does he
just
even
for the
have
first
any
little bit.
value?
So I
Who cares?
At
You just
least
get
what-
rid of him for something.
So Friedman said on the 31 Thoughts podcast that basically the Leafs are interested in a winger, but they don't know who it is.
He doesn't want to
Leafs
confirm.
Leafs Twitter thinks it's Alex Iafolo of the Kings.
Mhm.
You think Dermott for Iafolo is a fair trade? Both Iafolo is a UFA at the end of the year.
I don't see
Maybe.
where
I
it really
think
makes
Derm-
the Leafs though.
No.
Why
I
not?
Think, I think Dermott's all. See, this is the other thing though. Is like people are like, "Oh, the Leafs need the defensive depth," and it's like, no, they don't anymore.
They could
Like,
use
we're-
the defensive depth, just
Sure,
not
but
Dermott.
they have it. Is what I mean. It's like everyone's like, "Oh, you
Yeah.
can't trade Dermott. You need the depth." It's like you don't. 'Cause,
They're
like,
using the wrong depth is the thing.
yeah,
They're
you
using
have
Dermott.
Sandin, you have Liljegren, you have Hollowell who looked good in that preseason game, and apparently he was good in camp. There's a couple other names that I'm not thinking of right now, but like there's just there's guys there that you have like 8 D-men.
Yeah.
You don't need Travis Dermott. Like it's expendable because right now your forward depth is slim.
Which is why wouldn't you move?
I don't know if I have
I
Howell's my
thought-
guy. I don't know if I
Do
go
you know
to
how
the
many
States
points
right
he's
now
got?
to make a
Do you
trade.
know how many? Do you know how many? Yeah.
That's the
'Cause
main
it's
thing.
14
Like
days.
I think he could be good, but like if you're trading someone that's currently in a roster
you
spot,
gotta make a move. You make it now.
gotta be And it's to me, if you're gonna wait, you got to make a trade with someone in Canada. And the only 2 options out there right now are Jake Virtanen and Sam Bennett.
Mhm.
Neither of them
Not-
really help this team for what they're worth.
Virtanen does it more for me than Sam Bennett does.
I think they could make something out of Jake Virtanen.
I agree.
And honestly, after watching Sam Bennett play with Goudreau and Monahan, I think they could probably make something out of Sam Bennett. I'd rather see him on the top 6 than the guys they currently have sitting in it. Like I think like him and Hyman are close to me.
I'd rather have Hyman because
And then, but like on that second line, I would rather have him than anyone that's going to spot in
on
right
the
now.
left wing.
Yeah, I like who else can you who is better than Sam Bennett that you can put in that line right now?
I'd be interested in Virtanen on the right side. Move Willie to
Yeah.
the left.
Yeah,
That'd be interesting.
like Jake Virtanen, not a very high IQ hockey player, and I know that, but like he's still got so much talent.
How many points do you think Iafolo scored last year?
19.
36.
43.
Oh, That's not bad.
17 goals
on the
and
Kings?
26 assists. Yeah, and he was a +1 on the Kings.
Pretty good. I don't hate the move, man. I don't hate it. I would like to see some sort of value out of Dermott. I just think it's in a shit. I think Dermott's in a shit spot, and I think he could use on a different opportunity to play somewhere. And I think he could probably run with it if he gets a little bit of coaching behind him. But like, he's just not in the spot with the Leafs right now. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I wanna bring up a point.
Sure.
Because it's kind of already floating a little bit, and I want to make it float a little harder. Is Austin Matthews going to win the Hart Trophy?
No. No.
McDavid?
Rocket maybe, but not the Hart.
It's not going to McDavid. I'm sorry.
Morrow?
They're not good. Their team's not good.
Who's winning it for you, Morrow?
It's not going to McDavid because he's not even the best player in his team this year. I'll give it to Draisaitl. He's been better. And they're not winning.
It's dependent on whether or not they make the playoffs.
Who? Edmonton?
Edmonton.
Yeah.
You should make the playoffs.
I've had this discussion with my buddies.
If they don't finish as the 3 seed, it's embarrassing. You have the 2 best players in the NHL. You should be beating Montreal, realistically. You have the 2 best players in the NHL.
The sad part is it's really slim pickings right now because you go McDavid, Draisaitl, and both of them are in a shit spot in terms of their team in the standings. And then you got Marner and JVR.
Marner's been really fucking good.
Marner's been great, and I think that might be taking away from Matthews. If for some miracle Matthews can stay at this pace for goals and scores 50, then you hand him the Hart, man. Like if you're scoring 50 goals in a 56 game season and providing the defense that he does, and he's like among centermen, he's like up there in hits and takeaways and blocks, and it's like the guy's doing everything on the back end on top of scoring in 400 straight games. Yeah. I don't see like I last week I was like no, because Marner's there and they have the big 4. Who gives a shit at this point? He's doing everything.
McKinnon's been out for 9 days and he's still 5th in the league in assists.
They also haven't played.
Yeah.
The Colorado Avalanche, the greatest sabotage move they've ever done. They just gave their whole team COVID so that they can wait until McKinnon's back. It's great. Brilliant play. Wow. Brilliant play.
It's a bold strategy.
I'm so proud of them.
I think it's...
How do you differentiate Marner's shot at the Hart compared to Matthews? Because, I mean, Marner's
the 50
there
goals
with McDavid.
Sure. Marner's been great. Don't get me wrong. But
it's between Matthews and McDavid right now. It's points wise, it's not close.
For me, it's between Matthews and Draisaitl. I don't.
It's like 27 points that McDavid has.
I don't like
15 that Matthews has.
I usually don't like plus minus.
I'm not saying plus minus.
No. I'm saying separate point. I don't like plus minus very much. Have you seen McDavid's plus minus?
0. Mm-hmm.
That's Matthews not good for a guy that has 27 points.
Matthews
right. Which is more. He doesn't have 27 points.
What's that an indictment of? McDavid's defense, or
I don't think it's a very good look on his 5-on-5 play.
Or Mikko Koskinen playing every game for
Look at Draisaitl. And Mike Smith's back now. Right. This is what I mean. Like he's not doing a lot of good work at 5-on-5. He's average at 5-on-5. He's just elite on the power play.
Who's he with though on defense?
Nuge and Puljujarvi, who's an absolute unit. And he plays with the top pair defensively.
Darnell Nurse is a weird one. I don't know if he's good.
He's so trash defensively.
But he's such a MFer on offense still.
Yeah. He's good at moving the puck. He's just he's a turnstile.
He's 6'4" for like nothing.
Yep.
He's also paired with Tyson Barrie right now. So good luck on defense.
Yikes. That team's bad. The fact that they're so bad doesn't put them in the mix for me. At least not this season, where they should be, if not third, or if not second, they should be third in this division. Just based on talent.
I think Marner's up there. Backstrom a little sneaky.
JVR?
Yeah.
I don't think JVR has helped a little bit, but
JVR is all offense, no defense.
Yes. No skates. He could probably just play on his shoes. It wouldn't make much of a difference.
Pasternak's going to come and still wreck
Pasta
the league.
could literally win it after
Still.
missing the first month.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Anything else in hockey? Line already is in it with Torts.
Nice. What was
He got benched.
Game? He got
He
benched.
got benched before Pierre-Luc Dubois played.
Perfect.
That's
Roslovic
incredible.
looked unreal.
Oh, his
He had a
goatee
nice
winner.
fucking goal.
Oh my god, man! Like, I think the trade was Pierre-Luc Dubois for Jack Roslovic, and they threw in Patrick Laine. Realistically,
He's gonna get traded again.
it's crazy.
Line.
Yeah.
But like, didn't even stop there for Columbus because
I don't think
Mikko
either of the
Koivu
guys
decided to
ended up
retire.
in a situation that really excites them. So yeah, I could see both. Obviously, Dubois hasn't touched the ice until about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So like
We didn't mention this,
Yeah.
but like a couple weeks ago, the Alex Texier shootout goal.
So wild.
Oh,
What,
going on in
who
Florida?
thinks of that?
Gross.
Crazy, man. Who thinks of like, yeah, I'm gonna shuffleboard this thing?
Right?
I'm gonna poke
Unreal.
it with a stick.
But like, what a shit show Columbus is right now. They sit Line who they just trade for. Mikko Koivu just retires out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Is everyone still gonna tell me that people like playing for John Tortorella?
I think that Torts can make a bad team good, but he's not making a good team great.
No.
And
He's
no one's going to have fun while doing it.
No, that's the
Yeah.
thing is like he's a good coach in the sense that he can like he sets his systems really well.
He turns chicken shit to chicken salad,
Yeah. But
but
the
he's
way
not making a rotisserie chicken.
No. Yeah, that's a really good one actually. Cuz like he's just like I don't like as much as everyone wants to say yeah, everyone likes him. He's the players like him. I don't see that as a thing.
But he's the Swiss LA of coaches. Solid, but it's not what like,
It's not great.
you know, he's not even a keg. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like I don't know, man. Especially after this year, like watching the whole Dubois thing go down, and then seeing it wasn't even just Line last night or the night before, whatever it was. Like Dean Kukin got benched too, and he's been like one of their solid D men this year. And he straight up like says, "Oh, I don't like benching guys." It's like, well, that's the third time you've done it this season, and we are 3 weeks in.
I do it often, but I don't like.
I don't like. Yeah, like what do you mean you don't like to do it? You clearly love it. He likes to be the story to me, and like he wants to be the headline guy. I hate
Where
that.
does Patrick Line go that he's accepted?
Washington, because they have one of them.
Because they have one of them. Capo Caco for Patrick Line.
Yo, imagine him with that offense would be filthy.
I mean, like, look, the Rangers they're fine with interesting characters to a point.
At least Patrick Laine not an open racist,
Yeah, you know.
so it could get worse.
Like, I'm legitimately trying to think. If you're a team like Anaheim,
No need for him there.
the
They're
Kings,
just not good.
the Kings
could
actually-
use him. I think the Kings are set up nice.
would be nasty with him because like they're so young and up and coming. They have like all their centers basic. They have like Byfield and Velarde that's coming up, and then they have Turcotte also. Like if you then just like
And Kopitar's
I'm
still
thinking
a
of
thing.
next year basically.
Yeah.
Kopitar's still fucking good.
Yeah.
It's
he's
really
putting
good
up
still.
points,
Yeah.
man. Despite literally everybody being either
then-
30 plus years old or like 21, he's still
And
fucking,
Dustin Brown's
yeah.
not an atrocity of a contract. Like
It's not great,
no,
but you can bury it, especially if you're the Kings.
Mhm.
What is it? Montreal might be a nice fit for Laine because they could use a Patrick Laine, and they have enough guys defensively. It's not really a worry.
right? And they're so boring that it would actually be unreal for them.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
No,
just something. I think that's what they're missing to be that team that gives me hope.
Agreed.
He's not a good fit in a lot of places.
Nope.
Thinking about it now, like a lot of teams don't like that style, but like, he's a benefit to a lot of teams, and I think he's made himself better defensively. But he's not that two-way forward that a lot of teams want.
Also,
I think-
if
I think
if
that's
anyone
the-
gets to the
towards the
point of
point,
Patrick
though.
Laine's hair, Just shave it, buddy. It's rough.
Yikes, man. You
Sorry,
should
go
just
for
shave
it,
his head,
Will.
grow the beard back.
I was just gonna say, like, if there's any coach that I'd give the shot of trying to turn this kid into a somewhat of a two-way player and at least try and get that defensive side of his game to grow and show, it's got to be Torts.
Barry Trotz.
No,
I think is another one.
that's
If
Yeah.
you're looking for a guy that's going to break him down without breaking his spirit, it's Trotz. Because the guys like playing for Trotz. It's not.
Yeah, that's
he's
fair.
not Torts.
Mhm.
Like, when do you ever hear like
who else?
Barry Trotz is like aggressive on the defensive side, and like he hounds his players for it. But how often do you hear about Barry Trotz ever? Like,
you
he's
know,
not a
another one that
story.
I think would actually work, but like would be hilarious to see, and it would be a tire fire, but also could actually big brain work. Pittsburgh. Am I wrong?
No, that's so good. Imagine Sid sending him passes all day long.
Oh my god,
Oh,
he's scoring
man.
80 goals,
Brian Burke's first move is a important.
and he'd be the
person again.
most anti-Brian Burke guy
Look
to
at him.
get.
He's a big
You're right.
body.
Never mind. They're
We
not
can-
getting him.
No.
He's a big body. He's got truculence. I want him.
There's no way that's a move they make. They don't even think about it.
Chicago,
They're tanking hard. They don't want him. But yes,
Boston,
they have a Pasternak. Imagine,
and they have
having
a Krejci
Pasternak
saucing
light
him
on-
passes on the second line. Like,
Maybe you split that big line up a little bit, drop one of them down.
the Islanders would be if he goes to the Islanders are a fun team to watch
No,
because I can't watch them. I can't watch them.
can't.
Either.
a very
They're not going
boring
to change
style
their
of
systems
hockey.
because they have Line A though.
I don't think that there's any other teams.
That's weird. I feel really bad for that kid, man.
Yeah. You know
It's
what?
just-
Colorado, they've got the money.
Yeah, they don't need defense.
Kadri and Line
Their defensemen are good enough. They don't need to worry about their forwards playing D.
Or you know what? Fuck that. Just move Rantanen down there with Kadri. Sorry, and put Line with
McKinnon.
McKinnon.
Or you put McKinnon,
Exactly what I
or you
mean.
put McKinnon with the two fins.
You want to break records.
Yeah, but I want to see Line getting. Kadri's not really feeding Line. Like he's not setting up anyone.
Kadri's not feeding anyone.
That's what I
I
mean.
would
really
put
think
Landeskog with. I would put Landeskog
Oh,
with
you're-
Kadri, the big
I see what you
bumping
mean.
and bruising line. And
Oh, so
have
you're saying
McKinnon
just-
with
And then
the
have
thing.
Ranton and Line A. Didn't they play in the World Juniors together too? Line A and Ranton?
Because they're
Pretty
both
sure this
fit. Yeah.
Might have.
They played that
They
one year
might
where they
have.
won it all, I think.
know.
Because it was like Line A, Ranton, and what's his
Aho
name?
maybe
The
too.
guy that played for Toronto.
Yeah.
Happening.
I just don't think he's not long for Columbus already. What else we have?
Baseball?
Sure. Oh,
I,
the rich get richer.
I pumped the tires with the LA Dodgers and like the way they did things for a long time.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna deflate those tires. Like,
Trevor
I
Bauer
respect-
got the pick.
yo, they threw the fucking entire bank at him. And shout it to him for screwing over the Mets in the process. That was crazy.
Great.
Love it. Oh, if
Fantastic.
there's any franchise that deserves that, it's the Mets.
It's
Bauer
upsetting.
said that he wanted a short-term deal, and he got literally the best
He has
deal he
the
could have got.
option for it. That's the thing.
I mean, he's not. It's a 2-year deal. He's
It's-
not turning down $40 million for 2 years,
No.
basically, and he's opting out probably in the last year and
Absolutely.
getting a deal then.
Yep. I don't even know why they did the formality of the third year. Just like give him the 2-year deal. And
Well, in case he gets Tommy gone, and then he just gets
One.
like a
It's
free
an
year,
assurance.
Yeah. Sure.
$17 million.
Is it a player option or
All player
you,
options.
okay?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
he's got opt-outs after the first and second year.
He's gone after 2. I
If
wouldn't be
he- most
shocked if he's
likely.
gone after 1 if he puts up another season like he did last year.
Yeah, and if like there's more free agent dollars, fair.
More market. Like realistically, there was what 6 teams after him this year. In realistic, there's going to be a hell of a lot more than 6 next year because a lot of teams are going to end up making money.
All right, so you see Max Shannon in the comments, correct? he was one of the ones that were saying with Bauer now going to the Dodgers, don't they have to trade a starter? And
The
I'm like, no.
Dodgers?
I'm like, no. They have 7 starters now. But like in a year where you're coming off of COVID,
Rachel is a goat.
you can't. I think the depth is important
Mm-hmm.
in terms of you had like a shortened season,
Mhm.
and guys are going to get hurt probably more than ever. Guys
Mhm.
are going to be out because they test positive.
Mhm.
To be able to throw Kershaw, Bueller, Bauer, Urias, Price, Gonsolin, May is disgusting.
Yeah. And you use them as
This
pen
team
And
arms.
Gonsolin and
didn't
May
swing.
can come out of the pen,
Yeah.
and same with Urias.
Mm-hmm. Urias was gross in the pen last year. And the year before. Like, he's done a damn good job in that pen. I had this conversation with a buddy of mine. If you're taking a rotation right now, are you taking the Dodgers or the Padres?
I think the Padres have the higher upside.
Right.
I think that, but they honestly both have depth. Like
It's crazy. That's what, like, because that was my point too. I'm like, I take the Padres because they have depth. And he goes, okay, but they have so much depth behind that. That's like not like loud depth. Like they don't have Clevenger sitting in the balance waiting and Mackenzie
Right.
Gore.
Well, they
like,
do have
they're-
Mackenzie Gore still as the sixth.
That's what I mean. Like those are the two that you're still waiting on in San Diego is Clevenger and Gore.
I think I like the Dodgers better because they're more proven and also
It's fair.
less injury concerns in terms of because like Snell has been babied his whole career. Lamette, my Padres friend, was
Lamette's
like,
coming off an injury too.
well, he thinks there's something wrong with Lamette if they're getting all these starters, and yet there
Right.
not. But like he can be in trouble. Darvish, you never know. Paddock is
Darvish
he
hasn't
hates
been
Paddock
great.
more than anyone.
Like
And
other than
Musgrove, Musgrove is like a guy that in theory can be good because his numbers are actually really good in Pittsburgh, but also like it's not a guarantee.
yeah.
So you never know.
Darvish is like he's had like 2 good seasons. Outside of that, he's just been like mediocre, realistically, or hurt.
Mediocre in terms of a star level player.
Yeah, yeah.
Fair.
Like he's not a below replacement, but like he just hasn't been enough to be like, yeah, that's an ace.
It's like his first 2 years in
Yeah,
Texas, he was unreal, and then ever since then he hasn't really replicated it, other than last year with the Cubs
in a shortened season
It's
with all that nonsense.
Mhm.
I don't think the Dodgers.
I take the Dodgers just because it's 6 guys that I trust, and then Dustin May.
Do the Dodgers have the best 1, 2, 3 in the league? I don't agree with that.
Who do you think has a better one?
I don't know. I think the Padres top might be depending on how they. snap
What,
back.
Darvish, Snell, Lamette? Yeah. I trust
I
Kershaw,
mean-
Bauer, Bueller more.
Do you trust Kershaw still?
Yes, because he was unreal last year still.
Bueller
He
wasn't.
had a 350
fantastic.
ERA.
Trying to think of who. The Nats still have Scherzer, Strasburg. Their 3's not good though.
Corbin?
Oh, Corbin. Still damn good.
I don't trust them. I don't trust any of them to stay healthy.
Hyunjin Ryu, Nate
Shut the
Pearson,
fuck- Robbie Ray.
Robbie Ray.
No.
Trying to think. I think the Reds still have one of the best 1, 2.
They could have had the best 1, 2, 3,
Mm-hmm.
arguably. Yeah. I don't think. I think it's between the Dodgers and
So where would the worst pitcher on the Dodgers and or the Padres slide in the Blue
2.
Jays rotation?
second.
2. Yeah.
Fuck.
2. It's not even a question. It's their rotations are disgusting. They have the 2
Yeah.
best rotations in baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Washington competes with them in the first 3, but their 4 or 5 are yikes.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, 1 through 7 in both rotations for the Dodgers and Padres are probably 2 starters on most teams.
Mm-hmm.
Castillo's not underrated anymore.
Who?
Don't give me that. Castillo. Don't give me that. I'm just reading comments at this point. Anymore? Like, he's not anymore. He was.
Would you trade a guy like Lourdes for Tony Gonsolin? Is he good enough? Is Gonsolin good enough?
Not yet.
I don't think so.
I'm not here for it.
No, you're talking about a guy like
here
Castillo.
for trading Lourdes. Yeah, it's different. Yeah. I'm not
Then
big on
we-
trading Lourdes
Lourdes, who's so
for
cheap
anyone
for the next
right now.
4 years, yeah.
Pitchers have gone for peanuts in this
Right.
offseason.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't see a reason to trade roster players, especially when the best third baseman in baseball just went for the lint in my pocket.
Right. Wait, you're telling me Austin Gomber? I've never even heard of the Gromber. I've never heard of that dude until he got traded. Honestly,
Is that the guy that went in the Nolan deal?
Yeah,
I didn't even know the names. I just knew they didn't even get a top 100.
Austin
and they paid
Austin
$50 million to
Gomber.
do it.
He's right. He's projected as their 5th starter for the Rockies.
Man.
What the?
Yo, they butchered that so bad.
So okay, let's have this conversation then.
Mhm.
Looking back on it, because the money would have been the same if they didn't add on the 2 extra years on the deal. Who would you have rather had I guess years wise they'll be the same age by the end of it. Whose contract do you like more, Nolan's or George Springer's?
Nolan's. If you're
Really?
paying me $50 million to take Nolan's contract, yes.
No, because they paid $50 million, but then you also had to add the extra years.
That's fine. They paid me $50
You
million.
think so?
He's making what, 28 or 38 this next 2 years? 35? Bro, you're paying me for a season and a half of Nolan Arenado.
Let me look up the exact numbers for his contract.
If you're paying me for 2 years, if it's under 30 and you're paying me for almost 2 years of Nolan Arenado, I could flip him in 2 years if I want.
He's got a no trade. He's getting paid
Just got
$35
traded.
million for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years until he's 34, and then when he's 35, he's getting 27, and when he's 36, he's getting 15.
He's also been an MVP candidate, and he is probably the best defensive player in the league. Maybe
He
not Chad.
has, but also he was dog shit last year.
Yeah, he had a bad year. But are we counting last year?
I don't
Selectively.
think that
We're
it
counting
beats-
last year selectively.
Correct.
Yeah.
When it benefits our argument, we are
Then we use it.
taking it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer's great because last year he was great.
Yeah, Trevor Bauer's been good for like 1 1/3 seasons.
Maybe
also-
not even that.
I am clearly the Trevor Bauer insider because I know everything that Trevor. His finger bled in front of me. I knew it for him.
We are like this, blood brothers.
Yeah, yeah. You know, the Hangover.
Oh man.
No, 18
Yachty.
was the year he was good. What? Yeah,
Yachty.
yeah. Re-signed
to-
with the Cards.
That's how it should be. I
Yeah.
would have loved to see him as a Blue Jay, but
It would have been cool because, like,
I would have bought a jersey in a heartbeat.
no.
Just because, like, Yachty Molina, absolute legend.
Maybe if you wore like the same as Jose Molina, I would have bought it too, just so I could use it universally.
Big Molina guy. Yeah.
Funny.
I think it would have been fun. I'm not losing sleep over it,
No,
but he deserved to go back to the Cardinals
correct.
as much as I hate the Cardinals.
You hate to see, like, look, it was a situation where Brady, if he goes, it could have went totally bad, and he could have been dog shit. It could have been like Joe Montana with the Chiefs, and it wasn't.
Mhm.
It could have been the same situation with Gotti, even though he's not the player that Brady was even last
Ever.
year. But okay, but you know, is there anything else we have?
I don't think so.
Oh wait, okay, I got an activity. I'm springing this
Oh.
on you.
Okay. Springer ring it.
Yeah. There was a. Okay. Christian Yelich and JT Realmuto went to Chipotle for 142 days in a row when they were in the minor leagues together.
Yeah, well, they got the card. Christian got the card. I don't know about
My
JT.
question to you: what is something that you could do for 142 days straight?
I think I've played PlayStation for 142 days straight. Does that count?
All right, what can you eat for 142 days?
chicken shawarma.
Like-
because someone would have just said whack off, and then that would have
Chicken shawarma.
Crushed it. I'm on a fucking 20-something-year roll. I'm murdering this. No.
If we're going food, easily chicken shawarma.
I think I get sick of it after a while
Nope. No, at least not for me. No.
because I only get sticks ever. So
If it wasn't-
it's too heavy, I could say
maybe fried chicken.
No, that's
maybe.
insane. That's insane.
Maybe. But I think what it is that it's so expensive that I don't get it all that often. So that when I get it, I'm like, oh. But if I had to eat it every day, I don't know. Maybe not. Chipotle is good. It's not all that heavy.
No, exactly. That which is
It's,
why
it's
I'm
doable.
it's legitimately doable because you don't feel like ass after.
I could do chicken sandwiches though. Like I can crush chicken sandwiches night and day.
Wendy's grilled chicken.
Yeah, there's spicy chicken at Wendy's.
chicken
Spicy
sandwich, yeah.
chicken, man.
So
Spicy
good.
chicken's where it's
Yeah.
at.
So good. That's kind of where my mind went on the chicken sandwich thing.
Popeye's chicken sandwich, elite.
Popeye's chicken sandwich is good. I think it's not,
but
worth
only
the hype,
spicy.
but
You
it's
only
still
go
damn
spicy.
good.
Yeah, spicy.
KFC chicken sandwiches are all good.
Are they interesting?
Yeah, I like them.
I don't
They're
think
good.
I've ever had a chicken sandwich from
No?
KFC.
I get them a lot.
Like I'm normally just like we do it as a family. You get the bucket. Like I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
specific.
KFC, you know.
One thing I
Popeye's
definitely couldn't do: pizza.
Yeah, I agree.
I couldn't even do it for 3 days. It's ugh. Like I
too
love
heavy.
pizza one day, and it's okay the second day, and then it's
Uh-huh.
just like, yeah, I'm done with this.
You could
Oh.
convince me maybe if it's the wood oven pizza, thin
Right.
crust,
Like a
done
margarita.
like
Yeah,
proper.
right.
But
It's just
With
the,
that-
the tomato sauce on it, like for that many days in a row, it's just like
Acidity,
it
yeah.
hits you like a
but
truck.
to be fair to pizza, like it's very universal in how you.
Oh
can
yeah.
go
Oh, I
about
love.
eating it.
Don't get me wrong. I love pizza. It's great if you have it like once a week. I can do once a week, but
There's this like local banh mi place that they have like unreal sandwiches. It's like grilled chicken,
Mhm.
and then like I'm not a big vegetable guy, but even there, I'll eat like they put like cilantro, carrots, and like
Yeah.
onions in it, and it's fire.
this guy says Little Caesars.
Oh yeah, he loves Little Caesars. Yeah, it's so trash. Little Caesars literally.
No, Little
garbage,
Caesars is
bro.
paper with fucking tomato
Oh,
sauce and
heartless.
pepperoni on.
Little Caesars
I
is
I eat it. Don't get me wrong, because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
cheap
Crush a $5. Yeah.
and it's worth it. But
Crazy
it's-
bread. Crazy bread is good.
Elite.
Elite.
I don't think
Elite.
I've ever. Actually, I did have Little Caesars back in like 2012 when I went to Detroit. But that's about it.
The mecca of Little Caesars.
It's
Literally the mecca of Little Caesars.
if you're looking for a good pizza, it's not the way to go.
No.
But if you're looking for something to fill a hole
Hold on.
for
So if you-
$5,
I'd rather have pizza for $5 than Little Caesars for $5.
I literally have Guelph Humber's side,
But the-
pizza, than Little Caesars.
oh, dude, man, Guelph Humber's
That's not pizza.
pizza's elite. Like
That wasn't pizza.
slices
pizza.
you get there?
Humber
That was, like,
College side is
heavy.
different.
Yeah.
The Guelph
Yeah,
Humber
yeah,
yeah.
side was
Oh,
fucking.
oh,
Oh,
that was
well,
bad.
Humber size was.
Oh, I forgot about
bad.
those. No, that was bad. The Humber side though,
Humber
elite,
side was
man.
like.
Those
Yeah,
slices
Humber
were
side was
so good.
Yeah.
but the
I
Guelph
ate
Humber
there
side,
way too much.
Oh, you know what?
Way
I
too
could
much.
probably eat like wings. Wings for 140 because like it's not heavy.
Oh, I
Yeah.
could do Saint. That's the second one. I could do Saint
Yeah.
Louis like dusted chicken.
So what
wings.
we've got out of this
all
is
day.
chicken.
Yo,
We could all do chicken.
Can you drink for 142 days straight?
Yes. What day are we on in COVID?
Could we drink?
I think so.
Could we drink for 140 whatever days straight? Like,
Yeah. I don't think.
like what are we talking? Like drink? Like, I don't think I can go 140.
I can't
do-
days
I can't do beer for
consecutively of just
140
I think
going
at least like
balls to
3
the
drinks.
wall.
Yeah, I think like 3 drinks a day.
Oh yeah, that's easy.
As long as they're not beer, I could do it.
Beer's heavy.
Yeah. Like I kind of
That's
get
fine.
sick of
If you
beer
let-
after a while.
like,
But
That's
like
what
if you're
I would
mix
if
it
you're
up.
throwing me vodka, any sort of drinks, I could do those. I could do at least 3 of those a day, no problem, for probably 365 days a year. As long as I
You
don't have to
just
go anywhere.
wouldn't stop burping for like if you did beer for like
Yeah, just no,
142 days.
You'd also get real fat real quick.
Right.
It bloats
Right.
the hell out of you.
Right. I'm trying to think. Is there any other?
Donald Trump's Diet Cokes.
No.
Could you imagine? I still can't get
12?
over that.
12?
Oh my god.
12?
I think
That's
it was.
disgusting.
Fuck. I still can't. That still blows my mind to this day.
That might be the bigger surprise out of him like winning the presidency or drinking 12 Cokes a day. I think that's
I wasn't
That's
surprised to
weird.
see him win it. I was the fact that he drinks that much Diet Coke. That blew my mind.
Insane. Is that it, boys?
I think so.
I think that's
All right.
everything.
That's it for this week. We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, baseball. Just give us one more trade.
Yeah.
Give us like Jose
Give me
Ramirez getting
something
traded
cool.
away from Cleveland. Like, give me a blockbuster. Give me Luis Castillo.
Castillo, Gray. I'm happy with the Sonny Gray move.
Yeah. Herman Marquez.
Sure.
Just trade any good player away from a trash team. Trade Mike
Shock,
Trout away
shock
from that
me.
trash-
Yeah, please. Oh, we didn't even talk. Have we? We never talked about Mickey Callaway, or did we?
I think we talked
I
about it
think we
last
did.
week.
Yeah.
We talked
I
about it
think we
last
did
week.
last
Yeah.
week.
I thought of this on the next podcast.
Oh,
like
you know what we should talk about? Did you see that baseball is changing the baseballs
yeah,
after saying they're not? After saying
they're not juiced, but we're
What
gonna
the
change them because
fuck?
they're too juiced.
That is
Right.
baseball's trash. Like the people that run baseball is trash.
Trash.
That's why
Huh?
young people don't
I
care about
wonder.
it. It's the least popular sport in social media. You could argue hockey's more popular, but like not really.
I wonder who's been talking shit about Rob Manfred for
It's
2 straight years.
it's ridiculous. Like they talk out of two different sides of their mouth.
Yeah, just the
And now
most two-faced human
and,
being.
and now no one knows what the hell is going to go on next year.
Nope.
It's
Dog
crazy.
shit organization.
We'll see how that goes. I saw the David Price and Mike Trout thing going back and forth jokingly, but Price basically called out baseball, and then
Yep.
Mike Trout just put a bunch of rolling eyes and then laughing emojis. And David Price says, "I think you'll be fine, Mike."
Yeah, I think he'll be able to hit still. It's fine.
But that's it for this week. We'll catch you guys next week. Well, we gotta come up with ideas for now that
Shows?
football's done. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, if we took football out of the show, we just had a 40-minute episode.
Yeah, I got a couple ideas.
We got the one you mentioned earlier in the week.
We're gonna be talking about the goddamn Arizona Coyotes.
Which one was it, Moro?
The worst contracts. Cumulative.
Yeah.
That one, yeah.
We're gonna end up talking about like the bottom feeder teams in every league at this point because we're just gonna have so much time on our
I
hands.
love talking about Buffalo and Detroit.
We're gonna spend 10 minutes on the Red Wings.
All right,
Yes.
all right, let's talk it out. Here's an idea.
Okay,
Every episode, we do a rapid fire 1 minute on each team in the league.
that'll be fun. Especially all the teams that are still suspended for COVID.
Right?
Philly's gonna be great.
30 seconds, 30 teams in 30 seconds.
This is the 30-second podcast. Kind of like the 30 thoughts.
No,
but
30 seconds on each team.
30 seconds of thoughts podcast.
So 15, yeah, 30 seconds. But that's it for this week. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace. Brady to go.